I am loving this new show by HBO Max, Mare of Easttown, and it has a lot of people buzzing, a lot of people talking by the water cooler. Who is the murderer? Who is the one doing this? Well, I'm going to give you huge clues and point out things that people have missed that point directly to Mare being involved in these killings. What up to all my thugs, nerds, geeks, and freaks? It's the Don Tony Teflon, and if you can, please subscribe, because if this video hits 500 likes, I will give a month of HBO Max to a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video. So make sure you're in it to win it. Now you may be saying to yourself, did this guy just say Mare? Mare? The person who's the cop who's investigating this whole situation is involved in these killings? That's what I just heard. Yes, that is what you just heard. And no, I am not crazy. Well, not that much. I'm going to give you the clues that point directly to her. But before I do so, I'm going to eliminate a few people from this list. First off the list is Frank Sheehan. Yes, Mare's husband. I know we got the big bombshell at the end of the second episode that it's possibly, and I want to stress that word right there, possibly, he could be the baby daddy. But it's not known for sure if he was the baby's dad. As I said, it's possibly. This girl speculated that she thought that it was him. That being said, I don't believe that gives him enough motive for the fact that if this was a rumor and that would be his motivation, it doesn't seem that that rumor has spread to the point where he would have to feel drastic and have to do something like this. Next, I believe it came too quick. Second episode, they're trying to lead you on. I don't think they would give that away in the second episode of the show. So for that reason, this man is out. Next up is Kenny, who is Erin's dad. Yes, he was a prime suspect because he did not act very right? He kind of was a dick, and we had to think that possibly just to get his daughter out of his hair that he would do something like that. But I do believe the reaction that he had and what he'd done since her death proves without a shadow of a doubt that he had nothing to do with the disappearance of his daughter. Now, in order to understand exactly who committed these crimes, I think we have to look at what the show truly is about. When we look at the setting and why it was placed in this setting to begin with, it's a small town USA feeling. And what is it in small town USA? That means that everybody knows everybody. Your cousin could be the mailman. The butcher could be your father's best friend. The cop could be a star basketball player who had peaked one time in her life and, for lack of a better phrase, what people would say, got stuck in her small town for the rest of her life. Though that may not be such a bad life. People think it's not good, but in all honesty, close community, it may not be such a bad life after all. So I think that it's trying to show you that everyone in this town is connected. That means to me that the murder that we seen, the disappearance that we seen of the first girl, has to be connected somehow to this. And if that is the case, then I'm going to have to eliminate Dylan and Brianna. I don't believe that they would have had anything to do with the first case. Therefore, I don't believe that they have anything to do with the second case. Now, I will say that Richard could be a suspect. I don't know how long he's been lurking on the outskirts, if he had something to do with the first one. It seems like it's obvious that he could be the person, and that's why I'm going to have to push away from him, because it just seems too obvious. I just think that that would just be too cliche. The book writer comes in there and he's the guy trying to make a new book for himself, so he's acting out all these things so he could just put it in a new book. Maybe, right? That's what it would have to be if it was that case. I think that is just too cliche and too obvious. So for that reason, I'm going to eliminate it. So I'm going to tell you right now all the proof that points towards Mare. First, we have to look at who Mare is. It seems that she was a star basketball player. She hit the game-winning shot, and her life didn't seem like it really took off from there. It seemed like she peaked real early, and she's just treading water right after that. So the things that seem to be most important to her that have worked out somewhat in her life has been her family. She would do a lot of different things to protect her family. Now, I wouldn't say that she's exactly a heavy drinker. She does like to enjoy a rolling rock here and there. Well, every episode, a couple of them, right? But what is making her drink? Is there something, some type of factor that's making her drink? As I said, if it's going to be her or when the killer is revealed, I think it's going to have something to do with both cases. So, what would be her connection to the first case? We know she did not solve the case. She said she tried her best, but her friend keeps beating her in the head over that case.
My daughter's been missing for exactly 1 year, and the police aren't doing anything.
If she tried her best as she could, why would the friend be beating her over the head with it all the time? Now, the only reason I can see is that the friend doesn't believe she's put her best effort into it. And that's her friend from basketball from back in the day. She thinks this. So if she's thinking that, there could be something to it. Now, Mare does say when talking about her daughter, she says that she was a drug addict and a prostitute, and she's probably floating in the bottom of the river somewhere. That's a lot of details we can go on. Drug user and prostitute. So someone would have to be connected to her somehow if she died. Maybe someone was trying to pick up a prostitute, or maybe somebody was using drugs. When we look at the woman who is trying to take Mare's grandchild from her, we see that she is in rehab, right? And she's getting better. Therefore, since she's in rehab, birds of a feather usually flock together. We can assume that Mare's son most likely was on drugs too. So that could be a connection to the missing woman. So if something went wrong, and we know that Mare's son did commit suicide, say he killed this girl, Mare, wanting to cover for her family member, doesn't investigate the case fully, and that's why the body has never been found, and that's why the son in the end does commit suicide, because maybe he couldn't live with the fact that he actually killed this girl. Which in twofold would drive Mare to drink. She lost her son trying to protect her son, and she also did something bad to her friend by possibly getting rid of the body. She would know how to do that better than anybody because she is the detective of that town. And if she isn't fully investigating the case as much as she should be, then it's easy. Maybe she's hoping, oh, she'll give up and it fades away. Next, we see when the new detective comes in to help Mare out. She is not happy to have him there.
Paul, reporting a dead body in Creedham Creek.
We've decided to bring in a county detective to assist with the case.
Because this is a man who already solved a missing person's case. So therefore, you would think she'd say, hey, my friend's daughter's been missing. This guy's already solved something. Let's get the help from this guy. Maybe she's not happy for him coming because maybe she thinks that he may be on to her in the end and catch what she's did. So then that would leave, how is this connected to the new girl going missing? Well, we seen that Chiffon was there and she seemed to help her out. But if somehow Chiffon is the one who committed this crime, we could see the exact same thing going through Mare's mind. She may not want to lose another child, so she may have wanted to cover this whole thing up to prevent her daughter from going to jail. When this is all said and done, we've seen her be the hero to this girl, but what if somehow she knew that this girl was messing around with her father? Would that be enough motive for her to do something, strike out? It doesn't have to be to the point where they meant to actually do it. It just has to be to the point where it did get done. and all of the stripping of the clothes and all that stuff could be just a way to try to push the blame off on somebody else. Also, when we look at this clip from the trailer, we could see so much distress on Mare's face. We see the cops rolling up. Are they rolling up on her, or did they finally figure out that her daughter had something to do with it? Because she seems very concerned. She seems very upset at the same time. I do believe this is the last scene when they're about to take down the person who has done this. But hey, this is all speculation. You tell me if you think I'm onto something, or if you have a better theory. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind as the episodes go on. But as of episode 2, this is the way I'm going to go with it. Again, make sure you're subscribed and you hit that bell. If this video hits 500 likes, I will give one subscriber 1 month free of HBO Max. So be in it to win it. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and also subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.